we know definitely this is going to affect the open online community, those who joined us by Twitter. And maybe that's the deliberate attempt of the bad actor to sway away such people. And fortunately, this session will be recorded and we will still have to publish it. Even those who were not able to join will watch it later and will still benefit. We value this session very much, that I think equally the bad actors also know the tendency or the importance of sessions like this. So let's not be bothered. So like we promised, so Chief Ebunayo, if you are here, I'm not going to take the opportunity out of you. I'll allow you to do your self intro, and then we will then now come to look at what is on board today. So the space is yours now. Kind of let us know. But before that, I have the unique opportunity to ask you why the chief mechanic attached to your name on Twitter.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate the opportunity. Apologies for whatever happened. If this is your first time this is happening to you, congratulations, because you have seen it. It will not be surprising the next time you see it. It actually likely happen again, especially when it's like when you have like a non-gated chat, because we want to open it up for others to benefit from it. So my name is Ayodiji Aushika. I'm Nigerian. I'm a young man. I'm still a Gen Z. I run Web3 Lagos Web3 Bridge. Web3 Bridge is a program that has been designed to train Web3 developers out of Nigeria, Africa, because we've had people from across Africa now who are participating in the program online and now in person, because we started bringing other nationals to Lagos to join the program. So Web3 is going to be 5 next month, so it's like more like our anniversary week also. So okay, why chief mechanic? So I think one day we had a conversation, myself and somebody had a conversation, and so like, oh, sir, this is the garage and stuff. And I figured out, okay, so what do we majorly do? What do mechanics do? Mechanics fix cars, right? And I believe that for everyone that gets into the program, they're like cars that needs to be fixed. So my job is to ensure that every car that gets into the garage, irrespective of the fault, the flaw, so say, oh, this car is faulty, it's having like an alternator problem, it has a gearbox problem, whatever problem the car has gets fixed before the car leaves the garage. So I see Web3 Bridge as a garage that needs where people come to get fixed. So, and since we have a lot of mechanics in the workshop, or mechanics being mentors, mechanics being non-technical tutors and all, I am the chief of them all. So that's where chief mechanic came from. And so when having this conversation, somebody, oh, you're chief mechanic, and I think I fell in love with the name, and I understood I could relate to the meaning. That's where the name chief mechanic actually comes from. And so far, it's been an amazing one, because the garage has been fixing human cars for the last 5 years, and the result has been outstanding. Thank you very much, and let me congratulate everyone who gets into this course. Like, if there's an impressive story that we need to talk about this night, it will be Sahabia, because I know Sahabia from DeFi Africa. I know Sahabia to not be a technical person. I know Sahabia used to be a trader, but then the day I saw Sahabia like moving into a technical like code, I was very very impressed. I think I mentioned before, but this is like the first time I'm mentioning like open in public, because I took my time and I was like, no, this man is doing something that some of us don't have courage to do. Let me say categorically that I'm not a developer. I've not written a line of code before. I'm not sure I'm ever going to write line of code. At least maybe not like XML, JavaScript maybe. But then it took the courage, and today he's doing very, very well. And I've seen his passion close and from afar, and I'm very, very impressed. And I'm happy to say that if you have people like this managing this program, you are sure you are in a good hand. So congratulations to you if you're in this boot camp. These boot camps are our opportunities in Africa to actually equate with the world. For so many persons will argue, believe that until we have an African chain that's dedicated to Africans, and so will equate with the world. But then I feel that every continent, what every continent has done well is to work according to the size and the capacity of their continents. Now, China has population at some point. They have the internet, they use it well. What do we have? We have the numbers in Africa. And the best we could do as Africans is, so imagine a world where 70% of technical people in, say, Web2, Web3 are Africans. Nobody can actually push us back. The way the Indians have come. Now, the downside is that so many of us in Africa is to undermine ourselves. I say, oh, Africans are scammers, Africans are this. Have you really been scammed by an Indian person before? Like, have you worked on Upwork before and you work with an Indian team who tells you, oh, we are going to deliver this project, and they send the project to you and you discover that the project does not actually work? So I believe that we have an advantage by the numbers. And the strength of numbers is if 25% of us as Africans are technically inclined, whether we are technically coder, technically content, technically whatever we have, our numbers will not just be something that companies use for KPIs. We actually make more values. And imagine that 25% of us as Africans remotely, remotely, because even if you travel abroad, you travel to the UK and US, you earn $4,000. That's like small money because by the time you remove taxes, they are gone. Imagine how much, see, we have 25% of Africans earning $2,500 to $3,000 every month. The wealth that we have in the country, the government never know where it's coming from because most of our payments are never taxable because they don't even know how it's coming in. So that's the power that we have, and that's one of the beauty of what you are working in, the journey you are starting with this program. So the topic I was giving is Web3 Goldmine. Let me see. Web3 Goldmine, how developers can prosper in the new digital future. So the good part is that the digital is no more future. Digital is already here. And until we understand it, embrace it, we cannot be a part of it. Until we become like very honest with ourselves and say, oh, now the future is here and I want to be a part of it. Until we decide to look beyond every environmental control. Okay, I've been to Accra 4 times this year, and at best, I've heard people say, "Oh, Accra is this, our government is bad." I think there's a protest going on presently because of the arrest and all. Yes, those are issues that happens every part of the world. It's not detailed to only Accra. It's not domesticated to Nigeria. Like every country, I think presently you cannot even use Twitter in Brazil. If you use it and they catch you, even if you use VPN, you'll be charged $10,000. That's how crazy it is. In Dubai, when you get to Dubai from tweet and all, get to Dubai now, or is it Dubai or China? There are some pages that you use in Ghana that will not open without a VPN because they are banned from their country. So every country has their specification. So until we look beyond all the limitations of our country and continent, and we decide we are going to follow our strengths, we are going nowhere. We can keep whining and whining forever. Oh, the government is bad. The government continues to be bad because we are not even in government. We are not in politics. The downside is that you cannot even go into politics. You are not sponsored. So where did the money for sponsorship get to come from? So until we decide to take our future into our hands as Africans and focus only on the positives, it's not because there will not be negatives. There will be negatives, but our focus becomes the positives. Then we can channel our energy to actually learn, to actually improve on the system by ourselves. So let me cite an example before I go into my points. I have like 4 points or 5 points I need to like discuss here. Web3 Bridge has trained average of 225 developers in Nigeria, in Kenya. I'm not sure we've had major Ghanaians in Uganda, in South Africa. And I can tell you holistically that let's assume that these 225 persons, earns a minimum of 1,500 per month. If you get a calculator, you understand how much that is. Now, irrespective of how bad the governments can get, these guys can effect change in their environment. This year alone, during Starknet airdrop, about 30 or 50 of our guys made in total of $3 million from one single airdrop. Now, a number of them bought houses, paid their parents' loans, paid their tuition fee abroad. Like, all of this happened because they decided to make that step. So, until we understand that the future is now, and we can be a part of the future, number one, we are going nowhere. I'm personally not a fan of Japa. Like last time I came to Accra, I passed through the US Embassy because I usually stay around the embassy right until I come to Accra. The queue at the US Embassy alone is crazy enough that you wonder how many of these guys actually get visa every year. And if you calculate how much they pay for these visas, you understand how much these countries are making from our visa applications alone. It's not bad. But then if you look inward, internally, you understand that somebody collapsing their business in Accra to say, oh, I'm going to the US. They are trying to give their children fighting chances. But the point is that the more we do this, the more we lose our culture, the more of these things we lose. So we have to look inward as Africans and to understand that the digital future is here. If we all run away, who is going to fix it? If we all run away, the Chinese are going to come. The Lebanese are going to come. They're already here in Africa, and they are going to do it the way we do not understand. And maybe in another 15 years, start arguing that, oh, this is not our culture. But then we ran away from building our culture. Lebanese is not, if you've been to Lebanon before, Lebanon is not like a gold mine. These guys have migrated from Lebanon to Africa, and now they are the ones controlling almost all the nightlife in Accra, almost all the nightlife in Kenya, and all of these places. So we have to hold our future into our hands. So as a developer, the first step to take is what you are taking now is learning. And when I mean learning, you have to learn as intensive as possible. Because it looks as if it's easy. Yeah, you can do programming. Everyone can actually do programming. But then you are contending against the big wigs. Imagine you are just learning today, and like my developers say, it's code out there. Very cold because everyone is coming for that thing. Everybody feel that, yeah, there's a job in Web3, but there's no job in Web3 if you look at it holistically. It's job for only people that have the muscle to get the job. There's job for people whose repository can attract like the best. Like, so I don't know how many weeks you have been in this program, but then I'll be trying to understand how many repository have you created since you started the program. So if the mentors are saying, okay, these are the number of repositories you have created in the program, how many have you created by yourself? Because you only get better by practice. So how many hours are you devoting to learning by yourself? Because the truth is that for every gold medalist you see out there, they have won that gold in their practice session before they get to that stage. So if you are not winning the gold medal on your PC in your room, you will never get to win that gold medal outside of your PC. If you don't win that gold medal, improving on your code, tweeting about it, writing LinkedIn posts about it, talking about your bugs, you are never going to win that gold medal anywhere else. Like you will never get that job. Even when you get that job, you will never advance from that job because so there's a part of people getting jobs. So you get this job or you are not growing. So a number of persons base their growth on how much I'm earning per time. But the point is, it's not about how much you are earning per time. It's how much value you are bringing. So even if your company is paying you today, are you disposable? Like everybody is disposable actually. But then if they say, oh, we want to downsize today and we need to downsize 70% of our staffs, are you in that number? So these are the situations, these are the things we need to honestly ask ourselves. And these are the things that need to be like the priority for your learning. like you are learning. Are you learning well? Like somebody made a joke today. Let me see if I can pick it from my status. Somebody make a joke about Web3 bridge today. Let me see that joke. Oh, where is it? Where is the joke? So basically, Web3 bridge new motto: learn or pack your bag. And it sounds funny, but then so in Web3 bridge, you have an eviction system where we evict you if you are not learning. And these guys feel like, oh, I've traveled to Lagos from this distance, I can survive. But then this time, I tell somebody, man, carry your bag, and that's the door. Because we believe that whatever thing, so what this one, and what is one of the ways you have to actually appreciate these mentors and the people that are putting this program together. I'm sure that they have not raised millions to put this program together. In fact, if they are paying mentors, I can bet that they are paying from their pockets. So if they are putting the best together for you to get better, the best you can do is for you to become better so that somebody else can also benefit from you. So my first point is learn. Learn as good as possible, at best. Learn as rigorous as possible. And understand that some persons on this call might possibly be having like day job and all. Let me give you an example of what Web3 Bridge program looks like so you understand why you need to learn. And these are the people you are contending against. And these are the people that are not even, these are the people that are even still doing like the minimal job because there are people who are learning like crazy. So Web3 Bridge offers Monday through Saturday, 5 hours every day, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Saturday. That's the official class time. That's 30 hours per week. Now, when the class is done by 9 p.m., you now get an assignment that you do to 1 a.m. When you submit by 1 a.m. in the morning, that's almost about another. When you submit in the morning, you are preparing for another assignment for another class. So you are averagely spending 16 hours in 24 hours learning. And you are doing this for 4 months at stretch. Now, imagine the dedication these guys are putting into it. So that's why sometimes I do not expect less from them. So if you're in this program, you are given this opportunity to learn. The best you can do is to learn as hard as possible. Dedicate 1 hour, 2 hours at night, pick random open source code, check what they do, mirror it, mimic it, do it, because you only get better in doing. So one of the other ways to prosper in this Web3 space is to do open source contribution. If I'm to ask everyone on this call why they want to move to Web3, I'm sure if we are honest, that 60% of the people on this call will tell me is because I want to either earn more, I want to earn, or I want to upgrade my earning potential. If that is correct, can I get like a thumbs up? Can I get some reaction if I'm correct? All right, great. Now, the best way to do this is to start now. Join open source contributions. October 1st is going to be happening from October 1st. I think the registration is already up. Join these things. When you write programs that anyone can contribute to, oh, so today I'm going to be working on this XYZ product, blah, 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 blah. That's it. I like everything you want to do. Put the repo out and let others join you. They call it building in public. The more you build in public, the visible you become. If you decide, oh, I'm shy, yeah, I want to do it by myself. I don't want anyone to steal my code. People have better code than you are. In fact, all Ethereum code is open source. So if you want to say, oh, I don't want anyone to steal my code, who's stealing your code? The more of your code they see, the more issues they raise, the more PRs they raise, the better you get. Join open source contributions. Join hackathons. Yeah, I just started learning 2 weeks ago. I learned 3 weeks ago. Join hackathons. I believe that for you to start learning Web3, you already have some things you know in Web2. Web3 is not alien to Web2. Web3 is an advancement and improvement on Web2. So join hackathons. Your JavaScript is not useless. Your vanilla JavaScript is not useless. Your Node.js is not useless. Your React is not useless. Whatever knowledge you have in Web2 before, bring it to Web3. Join hackathons. The more hackathons you join, the more exposed you become, and the more exposed you become, the better you get, because the more code you see, like the level of code you see have access to is what makes you improve. Then build. Oh, I want to build. So a number of us in Africa have got a bit of, I want to build skyscraper in the air with our code. Start small. Write to-do lists. Build your to-do list. Post it. Get one person to use it. Get two persons to use it. You get feedback. Build calculator on chain. Now, all these things are not actually useful, but then someone can use them and test them and get better at it. Build, keep building. Build the simplest idea. Build the unimaginable idea. Build the imaginable ones. The more you do, the better you get. And I think the last one, a number of us, because we came looking for money, we're going to get distracted by money because I've learned that no matter how much you run after money, you will never find it. Like, if you have found the money, you will not be here. I'm sure that this is not your first rodeo. No matter how much you look for money, you will never find it. The best way to find money is attracting money, putting magnets beside. So imagine you have coin. Oh, thank God you spend coin in Ghana. I have a number of them in my house. So imagine you put all the coin round and put a big magnet in the middle. What happens? The coin starts running towards the magnet. That's the best way to make money. Focus on learning, grow enough so that you become attractive enough to attract enough funds to yourself. Let me tell you the truth. There is no amount that is impossible for you to earn, whether in Web3 or non Web3. But the point is that you need to become more valuable enough to earn it peacefully, legitimately, and with ease. Yeah, I'm in Web3 because I'm looking for money. The money is available there. What's the name of this guy? FTX alone ran away with $11 billion. So it means that the money is available. But then the more valuable you become, is the more money you're able to get. So I think I wrote something that you can earn as much as you are willing to commit to. There's no limit. If you still sleep 8 hours per day, it's not bad. The truth is that 8 hours per day might make you poor. Let me use this word for those of us that read Bible a little bit. Say a little sleep, a little slumber, so poverty will catch up with you and you become broke. And in Nigeria, this is Sapa bien Messi. You don't want Sapa to bien Messi on your matter. You have to stand up, shake off the Sapa and walk. Thank you very much. I take questions.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Where's the cheers? Let's give Chief Ebunayo. Come on, let's give him. Yes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Exactly. Okay. Very key takeaways that I personally took from the submission. First, that as Africans, we must try as much as possible to stay on. If we all around our way, who is going to remain to make the system better? So if you're a sharp mind, let your focus be in trying to make things better in Africa, but not to Japan. And that we should also take positives. Let's concentrate on the positives. No matter how polarized the system is, focus on the positives. There are a lot of positives around. For instance, you come to Ghana now. Currently, this boot camp is ongoing. There are several others ongoing. But you still go out there and you see people so much, even developers, so much concentrated in using, what's the name? Tap swap, trying to gain easy airdrops and those things. That can't help. You need to focus in trying to build a system that, yes, others can also come to use. And then also, we should try as much as possible to learn that you only get better in learning. These are key quotes. Yeah. And then also try to build in public. Don't try to be selfish or greedy. You know, any overprotective or any too secret person ends up being a greedy person or a selfish person. And then selfish people don't grow because if whatever they are building is rotten, they will keep on hosting their rotten items. But once you try to make it public, yes, people will help to make it better for you. That the more you build, the better you become. So focus in learning and grow in laws. Marvelous, marvelous. So on this note, we are going to welcome questions. If you have any question you want to ask Ebunayo, you can. And let's see. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand. Feel free, any question. So I think I will begin the questioning. So Ebunayo, yeah, learning from
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, come again.
I'm actually responding that I'm here.
Oh, okay. So from your journey throughout, because I've also known you virtually since 2019. Yeah, as a matter of fact. So throughout the journey, what would you say is the major issue confronting or either deterring African developers from grabbing the mantle of growth, like to just infiltrate into the system? What do you say is the major issue?
Thank you very much. So I think that if we want to be honest with ourselves, we say that it has not been like very easy, considering the fact that our location can be a barrier. I've had people, so like in honest truth, location has been one honest barrier that you cannot wish away, because what most of these jobs comes from locations that like comes from Europe, comes from Asia, comes from this, comes from that, and all. But then also our background is also like a problem for us, because our educational system is not has been a very porous one. Porous in the sense that, so you see someone who attends some like a university degree program in US, for example, or Europe, for example, come out as like one of the best, because they already taught them cryptography in school. But in Africa, you see that most of our universities, I think, I don't know if they do in Accra, but I know some universities in Nigeria to teach you for trans. And the downside is that all these things are like not, they are no longer relevant to the system that now works. So these are some of the problems that we have. Also, a number of times, as Africans, we tend to look more on the, how would I say, the flaw in our systems. Oh, yeah. Like, so a number of us are philosophers. Let me use that word. Like, we're philosophers to the point that the major thing we talk about is, if you remember Accra in 1962, there are 7 men that have reached Singapore. Singapore is now good. At the end of the day, we see us argue and talk for long. Then when you ask us, okay, now that we have understood the problems, what's the solution? A lot of us in Africa understood the African problems without understanding the African solutions. Like, we don't even know what solution is. So these are the problems I've seen. I've seen people say, oh yeah, Web3, they are not supporting us, we're not getting help. Yes, we are not getting this help. But then as individuals, as organizations, as team, what are we doing to correct this flaw? So let me use that for this scope, like go back to why Web3 Bridge started actually. So before Web3 Bridge, I was working at I was a research assistant to a number of students who were writing their final year projects in universities. I think I worked with about 400 students at the time. But then when I came into it, I came into it in 2017, October 15 actually. And sometimes somewhere between the line, I saw that we need to do education to make sure that we get adoption. Okay, education. So I started joining meetups and started hosting meetups and all of these stuffs. And along that line, I worked in a project where developers were messing up, and I feel like, oh, we actually need to train developers, because if not, we are not going anywhere. That's on a global scale, actually. And when Economic Foundation said, consensus said, oh, we want to train 1 million developers. I'm like, point is, that's it. I made only a single tweet. Africans have the numbers and the intellect, and that was all. And it was, I think that tweet was preparing for an opportunity. So when they said results happen when opportunity need preparedness, somebody was like, oh, do you have a proposal? I have a proposal. Let's work on it. And today, instead of talking and saying, oh, Africans have done blah, 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 Web3 Bridge is 5 years. At first, when we decided to do on-site bootcamp, even External Foundation was like, Ayo, we cannot support this, we cannot fund this because we don't understand this scope and all. But today, everybody in the world are now doing residency programs. Why? Now, if at the time when these guys were like, Ayo, we cannot fund these things, we don't know how to fund it, because there was a particular time I had a chat with CZ, and I asked CZ, what do you think is the best way to train developers? They said, honestly, we have tried even in Binance, we cannot scale it, we are confused. But then with Web3 Bridge is 5 years today, I've seen a lot of models directly, indirectly from Web3 Bridge. So, and I got that if Andela could do it for Web2, we could do it for Web3. And that was the motivation point. So instead of us talking too much about the problems in our little way, let's start talking about the solutions. The problem is African developers are not getting this. Thank God for this bootcamp. This bootcamp is something. There are other bootcamps. African developers are not getting enough money in hackathons. Let's continue to earn. When we earn enough money, we'll do hackathons that will be sponsored by developers. So imagine that developers with this bootcamp started earning well and want to host an hackathon and we do get sponsors. Oh, guys, we need $10,000 for hackathon. Even if it's $5,000 we get from everybody on this bootcamp, that is a way of improving as against us every time complaining, oh, we are being sidelined. So in Africa, we do talk more, we know the problems, but nobody's profiling the solution. Or we are profiling the solution in our panel sessions, in our talks, but nobody's actually doing the work. So we need to actually do the work. Thank you very much.
Exactly. That we all know the problems, but we seems to lack the solution. I think this is a clear description of the African issue. Yeah. That actually reminds me, the point about we all knowing what the problem is, but lacking the ideas to solve it is a critical issue. I think the very tangents from which Web3 Bridge emerged, I think you know DeFi Africa back in the days. We also used to concentrate much on meetups, those stuffs. And, along the line, we realized that, no, this wasn't the best way to go. We started engaging and try to train developers through workshops. Then we started the workshops we realized that, no, this is not a way to go. Because you go to organize a 3 days workshop and he wants to take people from fundamentals to become at least intermediate Web3 developers in Solidity. This is fucking crazy. How is that possible? Otherwise, through the interactions alone, we've been able to go through over 7 universities across Ghana, interacted with over 400 students, developers, and even open outside developers. And then developer clubs in Ghana, about 2 developer clubs, we've been able to go to them. But we realized that no, the feedback these people were given was, so after this, are you coming back? Or we want to learn more? Where can we go to learn more? These are critical questions. Then we sat down and realized that, okay, fine. Though we know there is a form of segregated kind of resources across the Web3 space that people can go, but sometimes they need to be organized for people to actually understand what, where and when to go for this particular kind of resources that inform us to come up with the Hackables platform, which is now strictly, I think you made a point in one of your tweets, which I so love, that if we try to train the problem solvers, the users are there automatically. They will have a point of call to go to. For example, this emergence of meme coins, Ton blockchain, what's the name? Ton games, those airdrops, meme coin, tap swap, those things actually informed me, and I opened my eyes to realize that, yes. So does that mean that in Africa, we've not been able to come up with user-friendly Web3 solutions that even the illiterates in Africa can use? Because look at TapSwap, even security men, people on their dying beds, were all tapping and swapping, all these things. So which looks quite very crazy. The market is there, but where are the products? So high time we stop shipping others products to learn, to use, and then begin. And thumbs up to Web3 Bridge. Understand? Yeah, you guys, it is good I've been able to understand the rationale behind your chief mechanic title today. You deserve it. So, Emmanuel Joy, your hand has been up for long. Ebunayo is still with us. You can ask your question, unmute yourself, and then proceed with your question. Emmanuel.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I was on the go, so the phone was in my pocket. I think that's why my hand was here.
Okay. All right, guys, ask your questions. This is a very unique time. As a developer, what are the challenges you are facing? You can ask. Then, together with Chief Ebunayo, we can be able to provide a response to that.
All right. So, guys, that was a great presentation from Ebunayo. He didn't introduce himself very well. Guys, he's an OG in this space. If you have any question, try to ask him. He will answer, right? So this is an opportunity that we have him. He's trying to play smart with us by showing us how humble he is, but ask him any question you want, especially with regards to some of the challenges you might be facing in the space. He can give you an answer. All right, so he mentioned something that repositories. Okay, there is a hand up, right?
Kofi Apao. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to ask if some of us are still learning, like in the Web2 space, we are still trying to develop ourselves, and we are now also trying to transition into the Web3. So, is it like a good idea doing that without having a strong knowledge in Web2, and we are trying to get into Web3? Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you very much, Kofi. So I believe the program is going to get better. Is the first boot camp, right?
Yeah, sure. This is the first one.
All right, great.
Think,
So let me say this. So the first boot camp is going to influence the decision of the next and the next boot camps. So it's usually like this because number one, I don't know how many people are in this boot camp, but I'm sure Saabia and Abib must have begged a number of you to be on this program because they feel like the passion they have is like, you guys come and learn. You're saying to come and learn. You guys don't want to learn. But in another course, I'm sure you guys are going to beg them to get into the course. It's like that. Like I remember our first course on the table, we brought everybody in. But today, last course, we got over 1,000 applications. I was selected only 97 out of all of them. Like got 90, over 1,000 and select 97. So it's going to get there. But then my advice for you is that, yeah, it's actually very that tough. Like the exam is actually very crazy that you have to write the entire Web2 code, ideation, front end and back end in 2 hours. That's how crazy the exam gets. So my advice for you is that you're already in this program, take the positives from here. I don't know how many hours you spend in class, but then you have extra time to like perfect your Web2 and build up on your Web3. It's a very unique opportunity. Is it going to stress you? Yes, it's going to stress you. Is it going to be easy? It's not going to be easy. But you are already in. The best way for, so just like someone say, when you enter the water, there's always cold. But when you get into the cold, you are not still cold anymore because you're already in the water. Coming out of the water means is when you get cold. Now that your legs are fully in the water, swim through to the other side of the road. So my advice is that you do the two at the same time because now you're opportunity to do the two. Averagely, it makes sense for you to do perfect your Web 2, but then you're already here because the program is already giving you the opportunity to learn. So my advice is for you to like continue with the two, finish up. It's just going to take an extra sacrifice. And the truth is that I don't know, there's this Nigerian meme that people used to go on about sacrifices. Like it's only about sacrifice. Whatever thing you want to do, whether legitimate or illegitimate, takes sacrifices. But there's a question that says, how do you cope when the drive to develop becomes low? So let me say this. All of us are going to face financial challenges. And let me tell you my experience before Web 2. So, let me see. So, okay, let's assume I stay in Accra and my office, before I enter Web 2, actually, my office is in, no, it's too far. How many hours is Kumasi to Accra if you drive?
Roughly 4.
Is it which location is like 2-3 hours?
Well, let's say who.
Okay, let's is more than 2 hours. So I've been to O before. I know O is more than 2 hours.
Yeah. It's 3-2. Depending on the type of car you are driving. So Cape Coast 2 is there, yes.
Cape Coast, yes. So let's assume I stay in Accra and I work at Cape Coast and I go to work 3 times every week. Now, if of the time I go to work each time, so it's either I borrow money from my wife to go to work, or when I get to work, I borrow money from my colleague to get back home. That was how I was doing it. And I was doing this for almost about 4 or 5 years. When I got into Web3, there was a day I practically trekked from Embassy Gardens to where is the place to use Abokobi? Abokobi. Like imagine trekking from Embassy Gardens to Abokobi, like Osu to Abokobi. Imagine the distance. So when I first got into Web3, I trekked this distance. Then I started Web3 bridge. Web3 I still started. I'm already started. So the point is that I'm trying to make is that by the time you are starting, you are going to face a lot of challenges. Finances, emotional, your girlfriend will run away. Some Nigerian boys will come to Accra, carry your girlfriend to the beach. All of these things will happen because you are broke. Yes. But what keeps you going is what you can see. Like, I believe that for everyone that gets into the space, you have a target. I had a target when I was coming into the space. My targets, in fact, fortunately for me, my targets, everything I plan to see in 10 years in this space, I've already seen it in these 7 years. So if you have a target, the target is the one that is driving you. Sorry, I'm going to quote Bible, like I'm used to quoting my apologies. I know not all of us are Christians. But then the Bible says that write the vision, make it plain. So they can run with it. Like people that see the vision can run because they already see the vision. Now, if you have a vision that you have set for yourself, so okay, I'm getting into Web3, and I know I'm going to struggle. My goal is to get to this point. I believe that I get to the point. Now, what we need to do, what I think we need to do more is having hubs that makes life easy. I know Aya has the hub. Maybe the team are going to also have the hub one day where developers can come in to like learn, hack, build for 2-3 hours. That way, we are taking the kind of internet on them. Thankfully, Ghana has electricity, even though I started like shaking little by little now. I know it's not been as constant as it used to be. Like, if you have a platform that provides this opportunity, then you can sacrifice. Let me tell you the truth. Even now that I think I have money, I still drink Gary. Like now that I think I have money, I still drink Gary. I don't know how many of us drink Gary, but I know that I know Gary. I drink Gary and granules. I cannot even afford to use fish to drink it. So even if you cannot afford Banku at this point, if it's Kose that you can afford, take your coffee like that. A time will come that you will have options and you are not even able to, not active, you don't have money. So now I just tell myself, what do I even feel like eating today? Like I can afford it at this point. There's nothing I want to eat that I cannot afford anymore. But that is the point that I cannot even eat anymore because I don't know what I feel like eating anymore. So finances might be a problem, but then as long as you have a laptop, I've seen people who learn how to code by writing on paper. Like this boy learns coding by writing the code on paper. When he got a phone, he now transferred all his code on his phone. When it ran, it took him a long time before he got a laptop. Then after started transferring the code from his paper to his phone to his laptop. So money is actually important, but what you need more is your determination to get to where you want to get to. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So first thing, don't give a fuck about the money. Concentrate to prepare your mind to hunt for the money. Yeah, so that's obviously one of the things. This session purpose has actually been achieved because it was to prepare your minds, inform you about some of the challenges you might face as a developer, transitioning from Web2 to Web3. Financial challenges is going to be a key one, which Ebunayo is telling you that it is normal because every given developer has faced that. You are not alone. You are not going to be the first. But have they been able to succeed? Yes, majority of them have been able to succeed. So equally, if you also give in your maximum, you are going to succeed too. So that's a very good note. We will allow 2 more questions and then we can close the session. Yasabia was making an important point about repositories.
Yeah, so Ebunayo mentioned that as a developer, especially in Web3, we always say this. You don't need any connection to get a job. There are a lot of opportunities in Web3, like he mentioned. If he was going to tell you more, you guys will know that you cannot, at this moment, compare any centralized system, especially the Web2 ecosystem to Web3, as we are right now. But he also said something that, especially in Web3, you can work for the money to the extent that your sweat will be like water, but you cannot get the money. So in Web3, what is important is try to attract the money to yourself. So yes, there are opportunities, a lot of opportunities, but you have to attract it. How do you attract it? He mentioned something like repositories. Build your repositories. So we always been telling our participants in our workshops and boot camps that your repositories are very, very important. And you heard him mention repositories. You have to try your best, make your code open source, build as more as you can. Keep writing the code, whatever you want to build. I've seen some of you are building other things, just be building, but make sure your code, you put everything in your repositories and make them public, because that is the only way you can attract the opportunities to yourself. So this session is recorded, will be shared with you later. And if you have any question to ask, I think the floor is still open for you to do that. So I know Ebunayo for a very long time, and I think he thought about this. He thought about this Web3 developer, idea long time before even DeFi Africa we came to start doing it. So previously, Africans, we used to always turn our people to users. So we used to turn Africa to a marketplace, like other or the traditional ecosystems they do, just trying to turn Africans to a marketplace for other people from different places. And when we got blockchain in Africa, a lot of the organizations that started championing were going in that direction by just turning our people to users. But you ask yourself that, can we continue to do this? Because just recently, you can see some people will just sit in their room, create something like tap tap. There is one particular meme I heard people talking about these days. A lot of my friends, a lot of guys here were just following it. They call it hamster something something. And now it means, I think it means,
Sure.
it means, yeah. So that is what we have to start thinking. It's not just about we thinking about using other people, products, stuff like that. But we have to now think about also producing, and it all starts from here. So he mentioned, Kofi, when you ask the question that as a starter, how do you get to the space? It is not easy. And he also mentioned something right now. A lot of people are taking our boot camps for granted, and we understand that it is possible, and we expected this particular thing. But the fact is, opportunities only come at once, because when they come and leave, it gets to a time that you can no more, grab them as they used to be. So right now, thousands of people are joining Web3 Bridge cohorts to learn Web3 development. Do you know why this is happening? Because they have now realized that this is an opportunity for them to, develop themselves and even make impacts on our communities, because that is what we want to see. So yeah, thank you very much, Ebunayo, chief mechanic. He didn't explain the mechanic all night. Look, I wish we give him the chance to introduce himself again. Anyway, he mentioned something like when you are a mechanic, cars come to a garage and you work on the cars and stuff like that. Yes. So we all want to be mechanics so that we can work on cars. Yeah, so that we can work on cars.
Yeah,
All right.
sure. So
Thank
these things are real. I remember last night I was sharing an experience with Sahabia. When we opened the chance for this bootcamp registration, I think this cohort, the beginner cohort, we had about 100 registrations, and when we sent out emails confirmations for them to inform them that they have been enrolled after assessment, only 67 approved to join the class. Meanwhile, we sent emails and that of SMS to them. So as of now, we have 67 in the beginner cohort, for which an additional 40 something will be joining next 2 weeks after they are done with this cohort is done with the fundamentals. Then the mastery cohorts, people will join them so that they can now move to the advanced level. Yes, it is true. Many people were being told, oh, go register. And I remember last night, somebody was telling me, oh, boss, the area I live, my network is so poor. What are we going to do about this problem? I was just looking at the whole issue. Then I told him, we have nothing to do. That is why the whole thing is to be learned at your own pace. You see, people are still using certain slim excuses as barriers for them to learn. So, which is very, very wrong. We need to take things serious. As of now, we have people still try to send in DMs that they still want to join the cohort. We have begun, no way turning back. So we always want things that are not available, and things that are available to us, we don't need them. This is the note at which I am also going to conclude. If nobody have a question again to ask, we will ask Ebunayo to give his closing remarks, and then if Sabia has additional remarks, he can give, and then we will draw the curtain to this session rather, to a close. If nobody has a question, Ebunayo, the floor is yours. Do I keep? Okay, Philip.
Okay, so I would like to ask if he could give us a roadmap, for us the Web2 developers who want to come in and dive more into the Web3, if he could give us a roadmap, like where to start from, Solidity, learn Solidity first, learn this, learn that, that kind of roadmap. I think we would very much appreciate that.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe that the organizers of this program already have that designed.
Exactly.
But let me just buttress the things I'm sure you have. Maybe you have not like you have not gotten to that point. So the reason why I always advocate for to start with Solidity is because Solidity seems to be like the easiest part of Web3, considering the fact that it's close to JavaScript, and it's like it's coming from a place of known before you get into the pool of the unknown. So if you ask so many people that are not like so many people to just go from JavaScript to learn Gates, protocol, Rust, all of these things, I'm sure that a lot of people will run back. Also, Solidity is one part where you start today. You can guarantee that at least within the next 2 months, you can earn $100 at least. And that $100 might not be big money, but it might be like a good way to like welcome you into the ecosystem. So that said, I would say that you absorb everything that is the roadmap for the course, the curriculum, take your time with it, then also like go through Solidity fundamentals. If you can, there is a book called Ethereum, Mastering Ethereum. If you can, I would say that by the time as you're going through the course, the design of the curriculum of the course, which is actually very important because I'm sure the mentors have like a way, the reason why they design the way they design it is what have worked for them and the part they believe that you can also like prosper in. Go through mastering Ethereum. It's actually going to like open your mind, open your eyes to okay, why Solidity? Why would I say smart contracts? Then it gives like a core guiding to okay, how do we go from here? But then I'd say focus more on Solidity and smart contracts, like a good spot on that, especially if you are coming from Web2, your JavaScript is solid. Or I can front end in Web2 and front end in Web3, they are not so different. But then it's better for you to understand the smart contract side of things, especially because of integrations. But if you don't understand the back end, you likely not be able to integrate the front end in Web3. So that would be what I can say for now. I've not seen the curriculum, but I can tell you that the curriculum is designed in a way that is going to help you. Like it's like the easiest roadmap you have, considering the fact that the mentors are going to come and they're going to follow this particular because if you absorb too much information sometimes, you will end up not having depth. And not having depth is actually going to mess your learning curve. Thank you very much.
Exactly. So that is it. Philip, I think if you are able to review the entire bootcamp itself, I think this is one of the bootcamps I can say is the best because we actually don't just ask you go here, go there. The point is Hackaboost itself is there as an infrastructure, providing resources to all that you may need. For instance, the cohort you are still in the fundamentals, you go there, we have a complete course design in there. So as you are learning, every week we give you tasks to go and then perform. Then some of them will have to, okay, go to the learning platform, Hackaboost, try to review the content in there, try to understand it, undertake the assessment quizzes, and then you also take your project. Yeah, for sure, there is Solidity, there is smart contracts, and then from there we proceed to the next ambiguous levels. So that's it. This, let me see, it's like somebody raised his hand. Oh, no.
All right. So for those of you who are yet to submit your projects, I think tomorrow is the deadline for the week. So I'm just using this as an opportunity to remind. So far, many of you have submitted your projects and they are actually marvelous, but we still expect some of you to submit. And tomorrow is the deadline, so just heads up, try to submit before the end of tomorrow.
Yep. And the other thing is the office hours that have a schedule, try to take it very serious because they are meant for you to come and then express your challenges and then maybe some of the difficult moments you are having as far as the bootcamp process is concerned. So always try as much as possible when we open the office hours. Mentors are sitting live, waiting for you on the call. Just come, we will be there. You put out your concern or your problem. It will be solved. Even if it is a code problem, the coders are in here. They will try to help you resolve it. So that is it. As of now, the red button has been pressed. No time to wait for anybody. Those who are serious are those we are going with. And that is it. So Chief Ebunayo, your closing remarks, and then we can wrap up this session.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invite again. Appreciate everyone who has stayed on the call from the beginning. Thanks for listening to my rants. I do believe that you guys are on the right path. Coming from someone who have done this same thing for the last 5 years, we are presently on our 10th, 11th cohorts. We are preparing for the 12th, and I can tell you that I've seen results. Like, so one of the beauty of this for me is that I've seen people who coming with tears, who now also help wipe tears off others. I've seen people who were homeless by the time they came to the course, who now have houses, not even one. I've seen people who could not afford their travel to Lagos, the first course, who now goes for vacation abroad. So whatever you decide to be is possible in Web3. Even out of Web3, whatever you decide to be is actually possible. But then it will take a lot of work. The most important part for you to be able to put in the work. If you put in the work, the results will come. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you too. So the bottom line is don't jump the processes. Try to follow the process, because if you want to jump into the pot itself, you will end up burning and people will use you as a meal. That's a fact. Yeah, those that came without houses, now they have houses. He didn't tell you the reason behind, because they concentrated so much on the learning. And today, they are able to provide value. And once you begin to create value, money comes to you. Even if you don't like the money, it will come to you. Imagine you are able to, you are a developer for a particular organization, and then by month end, you are a very key developer that they cannot easily dispose. If they are to pay you and you say they shouldn't pay you, they will force to pay you. So that's the point.
They will send it to my account.
So exactly. So Chief Ebunayo, we really appreciate you for accepting our invite to come and inspire our developers. I think this is a nice journey. We've started the Web3 Bidel bootcamps, Bidel workshops in 2023. 2024 we ran some, and then 2025 more to come. And this time around we have started with the bootcamp. So actually this bootcamp is going to be climaxed with a hackathon in October or November. So that's the processes we have taken. Learn from HackerBoost, come and run this bootcamp, and then we train you more. At the end of the day, there is an opportunity for you to come and then apply the knowledge in practice, build something, and then get rewarded. A lot of money will be scheduled for rewards during the hackathon. So I think this is officially to inform you that we'll be coming knocking on your door to see how we can be able to successfully drive the hackathon too. So thanks for joining us today, and thanks to everybody that makes this call or session a very success. We appreciate you all, and please try to finish your week one task and submit your assignments and then projects so that we can sail into the coming week successfully. On this note, we say cheers.
All right.
Yeah, bye guys. Have a good night rest.